So in today's Cold War video, we'll be discussing a bunch of first day beginner tips. We'll be discussing things such as the best settings to look out for, the best weapons to use early on, the best perks, the best kill streaks to use early on, and also how to get better and level up faster. Cold War just dropped today, and I'm sure you guys are looking to play all weekend, so I thought I'd make this video to help give you some early pointers. So first off, we're gonna go into the settings and change some around that will help you tremendously. So we're gonna get started on the settings tab. These are the sensitivities I play on, but I would not recommend you play on these. I play on Elite Series 2 and I also use Control Freaks, so that's why I'd say that. But if you're playing on a normal controller, I'd highly recommend doing Tactical. Tactical is great because you can crouch and slide with your right stick. And that's super beneficial because you can still aim while crouching or sliding, and it's going to give you an advantage. If you're looking to be more aggressive on a normal controller, then Bumper Jumper Tactical or even Bumper Jumper are great settings. What it allows you to do is you can jump with your LB button, so you can still keep your thumb on the right stick. That means you can aim while jumping or just doing whatever. Now for the rest of these settings, you could pretty much leave them as they are. The only thing I would change is controller vibration. I disable it because having it enabled can sometimes inhibit your aim, and I really don't want to mess with my aim any bit, so I just turn the vibration off. Now moving down here, I do change some things. So your minimum input threshold for the sticks, I keep them at a very low setting. I think the default is 15. I put them all the way down to 4. And what this is going to do is make the game feel just a little more responsive, a little more snappy. If you put these too low at like a 0, you'll start to feel something in your controller called stick drift, where basically the stick moves by itself and it'll just mess up your game. And then there's auto sprint. I enable this because I want my controller to live longer. Jamming down the stick to sprint all the time is going to make your controller break a lot quicker. For Modern Warfare, you would have clicked the stick twice for tactical sprint, and that broke 3 controllers. So I keep this enabled. Moving on to graphics, this is super important. First thing you want to take on is your field of view. I set this at 100. You can go all the way out to 120 on any console. However, going to 120 is probably going to give you motion sickness, and you may not be able to see much in front of you. So 100 is the good middle ground, or even 105 is good enough. ADS field of view, I leave this unaffected. This is definitely personal preference. And then most importantly down here, this is probably the most important setting. Motion blur, you want to disable this right away. You can enable it, but the thing is, the game is going to look great, but you won't be able to see anything in front of you. So disabling it will make the game a lot sharper, and you will be able to see enemies a lot easier. Moving on to the audio tab, you don't really have anything to change with this. However, audio presets, I would definitely put this on high boost. Any of the boost settings are great, and you're going to be able to hear footsteps louder. For personal preference, I put on high boost. I actually have a video that covers this where I tested every audio preset. So if you want to give that a look, feel free. And that right there is all the settings off the top of my head that are going to help improve your gameplay. If you guys have any questions about the settings, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll try my best to respond. We're going to go ahead and move on to the best early weapons, perks, and kill streaks. So early on in the game, before you hit level 4, you're going to be limited to the default classes. My personal recommendation would either be the Krig class or even the M16 class that you unlock. They're both very good weapons and they have good perks on them too. However, once you hit level 4, you unlock Create a class. Off the bat, I would start using the XM4 or even the Krig 6. They're both very good guns. The best thing to do with this game, just like Modern Warfare, is to stick with one gun and level it up, so you can unlock the attachments and also do the camo challenges, which will give you more XP. We'll cover that later in the video. As you can see here, my personal preference is the XM4. A lot of people say the Krig 6 is good, and even the AK-47. Once you get to level 40, the FAR is actually a very nice pick. A lot of pros have been using that. For SMGs, the MP5 is the one and done solid pick. Just like in literally every other game, the MP5 is again the best SMG. Or at least the best SMG off the bat. There hasn't been much testing with the Bullfrog and KSP because people aren't that high of a level yet. One more gun I would definitely recommend is the M16. This was crazy good in the beta and it's probably still good in the main game. So moving on to secondaries, I would highly recommend running a launcher. The Sigma 2 is the first launcher, the RPG, you get a level 40, so just run the Sigma for now. The reason I say this is because this is probably the easiest way to earn passive XP while you're playing. Launchers in this game handle very quick, they lock onto UAVs in probably a half second. Shooting down that UAV not only gives you XP in game, but gives you XP for the medal itself, and then when you get to the next level for the launcher, you earn bonus XP, and then you'll eventually run into the camo challenges, which will work on passively just by shooting down streaks, which gives you even more XP. So running a launcher and keeping an eye out for UAVs is going to lead to a bunch of passive XP while playing. Moving on to the tacticals, it's pretty much a pick between the stim shot or stun grenade. The stim shot has been nerfed since the beta and takes 11 seconds to restock. The stun grenades are also okay too, but they don't last as long as they did in previous games. That means that when you stun someone, they're probably only going to be stunned for about 3 or 4 seconds, compared to Modern Warfare where it'd be like 6 or 7. For the lethals, frag is good if you know how to cook them. C4s are okay too, but they don't throw as far. And then Semtexes are also a really good pick in this game. This comes down to personal preference. If you can cook grenades, meaning that you hold them for 4 seconds and then throw at the 4th second, frags are probably going to be the best pick for you. So for the field upgrades, I would pick any of the first 3. They're all very good and they're all dependent on different playstyles. Of course, a trophy system is great if you're an objective player. The field mic is great if you like to camp and hold down lanes. And also the proximity mine is great if you just want to troll people and throw shit around the map. So with the perks, Paranoia is probably your best pick for perk 1. This is a little overpowered. Basically what it does is when somebody looks at you, it'll give you an on-screen notification and it'll also give a little tone in your headset. So for example, if someone is looking at you from your left side, the left side of your screen turns red and the left side of your headset will make this tone. So it's definitely great for awareness. For perk 2, Assassin is great to start off with. This gives you bonus points for killing people on kill streaks. As for the rest, I really don't see a need for them. Scavenger, there's not really a need for it in this game, and I'll explain why in a few moments. So for perk 3, Gung Ho is a great first pick. You can fire your weapon, reload it, and use equipment while sprinting, so it helps you be a more aggressive player. Ghost is honestly the pick at level 17. With all the UAV spam that's going on right now, this keeps you off the UAVs and it basically counters them as long as you're moving. So for the wildcards, Danger Close is actually really high value. What this does is it spawns you with max ammo, it spawns you with 2 tacticals and 2 lethals. Running this will basically leave Scavenger useless. There's also ammo boxes around each map. You'll have to learn the locations of them, but they do exist and they do restock all your ammo. Now for the Scorestreaks, the default set they give you is UAV, care package, and attack helicopter. That's pretty reasonable, but when you unlock the cruise missile, I would highly recommend putting this on. The reason for this is that depending on the map, the cruise missile can guarantee you at least 2 or 3 easy kills, along with the attack helicopter can guarantee you another set of 2 or 3 easy kills. In my opinion, calling in the care package and redeeming it takes up too much time, and most of the time it's just going to give you lower end streaks like the RCXD or even the combat bow. Over time, more score streaks will be added in, so right now this is fairly basic. But for low levels, the UAV, cruise missile, and attack helicopter is overall the best setup to be running for both kills and XP. One thing to look out for with these score streaks is the war machine, and I talk about this because this can help you level up faster. When you use a war machine, the kills that you get with it are going to count towards your kill streak multiplier. And with the war machine, I'm pretty sure you get 12 shots unless they haven't changed it. So that is at least 6 or 7 kills that you can add to your kill streak, and that's all multiplied. Definitely look out for the war machine. It's going to be unlocked at level 36. Now let's talk about how to get XP faster, because level 36 actually takes several hours to get to. Now leveling in this game is very slow. It's very comparable to Modern Warfare, especially in the weapon department. What's great about this game is that multiplayer isn't the only way to level up weapons. You can also do this in zombies. So if you ever get bored of multiplayer, you can go play zombies and still level up the same weapons that you'd use. So as far as leveling goes, I would highly recommend playing objective game modes. Non-respawn game modes like Search and Destroy and VIP are going to earn you a lot less XP. Preferably, you should filter under something like Hardpoint or Domination, as that's going to give you the most objective XP. What also helps is using the same gun over and over and over. The reason why I say this is because leveling up the gun gives you XP. So when you hit another level, you're going to get bonus XP. And then there's also camo challenges that when you do them, and they're pretty easy to complete. It's just like kills, headshots, bloodthirsties. When you complete these, you're going to get bonus XP on the side. And then one of my bigger tips is to try and get kill streaks. Not like the score streaks like UAV, whatever. I mean like just straight up kill streaks. The kill streaks work in this game in the way that they give you bonus XP, almost like a multiplier for how many kills you get in a life. So what that means is if you go on a 20 kill streak and get 20 kills that game, like if it's just a straight game, you get 20 kills without dying, you're going to earn a lot more XP than the kid who got 20 kills and 20 deaths in the same game. That guy's probably going to earn next to nothing compared to what you earned. Now this last part of the video is just going to be some brief tips on how to improve right off the bat. The first thing I would recommend is playing in a party, at least with some of your friends or at least with other people. The reason for this is that they can help you improve at the game and teach you things that you didn't know, and you can also learn from them in terms of playstyle. Another thing I would recommend is when you get on every day, if you have an extra 10 minutes, I would highly suggest you spend those 10 minutes warming up against bots in a custom lobby. This is very easy to set up, and what this will do is act as a warm-up that'll help get your aim calibrated before you get into actual games. And now one of my last brief tips to get better is to generally hang outside of the maps. You don't want to be one of those players that runs in the middle and gets shot. This is great because fights are a lot more predictable. When you're in the middle, there's a lot of places you can shot from, but on the outside lanes, you pretty much just get shot from forward or behind. The map Cartel is a huge example of this. A lot of players run in the middle, they run in the bushes, and they just get shot. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video for all the day one beginner tips. Of course, this is not everything you'll learn, but in the future, I'll be making more Cold War videos, such as gold camo guides for certain guns, best setups for ARs, SMGs, tips to improve your aim, raise your KD, heck, even long shot spots. I have a lot planned. So if you guys want to stay tuned for that, be sure to subscribe. Funny enough, 99% of my viewers aren't subbed to the channel. So if you'd like to be that 1%, you're more than welcome to be that 1%. But anyways, stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you learned something from it, and good luck in Cold War. All right. My name is Wetzel, and until next time, peace.